Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Bridgeforth Field, Winchester, Virginia, home of the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action all summer long tonight. The Royals play host to the Cannons of Purcellville. Royals on a two-game losing streak after a two-game loss, or two losses to Woodstock the last couple nights. Tonight, the third and final game of a three-game homestand for the Royals, taking on the Cannons. These two teams got together last week. The Royals won a 6-5 10-inning game, start of a three-game winning streak for the Royals, but that came to an end on Wednesday when the Royals lost to the River Bandits and then lost again here last night to Woodstock. These Purcellville Cannons, well, they got to be fresh and ready to go. They've been rained out quite a bit here lately, including last night. The Cannons now have 6 games to make up. The Royals still have 3 to make up. Scores from last night, in case you might have missed them. Woodstock knocked off Winchester 6-4. It was Harrisonburg over Charlottesville. I'm sorry, it was Charlottesville over Harrisonburg 4-3. Newmarket beat Front Royal 7-5. Covington at Strasburg rained out. Stanton at Purcellville was rained out. That game has been rescheduled for July 15th. And Waynesboro at Culpeper also rained out. That game moved to June 28th. They'll play a doubleheader on that Sunday. Game's already in action here tonight. Woodstock leads Front Royal 2-0. They're in the top of the second. Harrisonburg Culpeper just getting started. They're in the top of the first. In Covington, again, the Royals and the Cannons do battle here. Other games, Charlottesville visits Waynesboro, Culpeper's at Stanton, and Strasburg takes on Newmarket at Rebel Park in Newmarket. Take a look at the standings real quick while we have a moment. Leading the way in the Northern Division, Strasburg and Woodstock at the top of the heap. Strasburg 9-4, Woodstock 10-5. If you were to break it down, Strasburg leads by percentage points. Front Royal, after their loss last night, drops a half game back. They're 10-6. Winchester pulls in at fourth. They are 7-8 on that two-game losing streak. They're 3 games out. Purcellville right behind. They're a half game behind the Royals, 3.5 out of first at 5-7, and bringing up the rear Newmarket 5-9, 4.5 out. As we head toward the end of the month of June. Down in the Southern Division, Harrisonburg leads the way. They have the best record in the league. They're 11-4. Stanton 8-7, 3 games back. Covington 6-6. They're 3.5 out. Waynesboro 6-8. They're 4.5 back. Charlottesville 4-9. They're 6 out. And Culpeper brings up the rear. They have the worst record in the league. They're 2-10, 7.5 games out of first place in the Southern Division. Still waiting on the appearance of some umpires. I know they're here because the positions have been assigned. There they are. They're coming around the corner. Again, the Royals and the Cannons, first time Purcellville visits Bridgeforth this season, the first of 3 times, just the second game between these two teams. They'll get together again next Saturday night in Purcellville. Again, the first game won by the Royals last week with a 6-5 10-inning victory over the Cannons. The Purcellville Cannons will line up like this tonight again, 5th in the North, 5-7. Ethan Acevedo will lead it off, the center fielder from Indian Hills Community College. He'll be followed by the right fielder Anthony Fernandez from St. Bonaventure. Carlos Sanchez plays third, bats third. He's from Florida Southwestern State. Cleanup hitter Rafael Frical Jr., second baseman from San Jacinto College North. He'll be followed by the first baseman Thomas Marcella. Batting fifth, playing first from Western Kentucky, Blake Brookins will be the designated hitter from the University of Florida. He bats sixth. A.J. Gatia, the catcher from Texas Tech, bats seventh. Karai Valentin will be the shortstop. He bats eighth from Florida International. And the left fielder batting ninth from Kansas State University, Rohan Putz. For the Cannons, again, Acevedo, Fernandez, Sanchez, Frical, Marcella, Brookins, Gatia, Valentin, and Putz. On the mound for the Cannons, right-hander from Marshall University, Bauer Burkhart, comes in with no record and an earned run average of 6.00. For the Winchester Royals, 7-8, 2-game losing streak. They're in fourth, 3 games out of first. They'll line up like this. Jamie Padilla, the left fielder from Shenandoah University, leads it off. Connor Guy will play right field, bats seconds from St. John's River State College. Todd Abraham, the second baseman from Binghamton University, will bat third. Cleanup hitter Parker Fry, first baseman from East Stroudsburg University. John Emmendorfer bats fifth. He'll play third from Charleston Southern. Batting sixth, the catcher Joey Agard from Mount St. Mary's. His teammate from Mount St. Mary's, Ty Frida, will play short. He bats seventh. Batting eighth, the designated hitter from Binghamton University, Ian Kaiser. Batting ninth, Bodie Poland, center fielder from Shepherd University. On the mound for the Royals, Brandon Vasquez from Bethune-Cookman, the left-hander, making his second appearance, his first start for the Royals. No record, earned run average of 0.00. He has not given up a run in his inning and a third of work so far this season. Again, just his second appearance for the Royals, making his first start. Meeting at the plate taking place now. The Royals being introduced to the crowd. And we are almost ready to get going here. Meeting at the plate breaks up. Again, the Royals taking the field. Third of a three-game homestand for the Royals. They are on the road tomorrow night in Newmarket. Be right back here on Sunday to take on the Southern Division Waynesboro Generals. And then they're on the road the first part of next week before returning home next Thursday to take on the Strasburg Express. Just 4 more home games left in the month of June for the Royals. Well, not counting tonight, 4 more home games. If you count tonight, there are 5. Looks like the weather is going to play nice tonight, and we're going to get this one in. So after tonight, 4 more home games for the month of June. Then we head to July, and we start talking about playoffs and the dog days of July. As it's going to be nice and toasty out there. Royals are introduced. Umpires are being introduced. We'll step aside now as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem before we kick it off with the Royals and the Cannons from Bridgeforth Field. Brandon Vasquez again on the mound for the Royals, the left-hander from Bethune-Cookman. Again, his second appearance, first start. He's worked an inning and a third. He's allowed 2 hits, no runs. He's walked 1, struck out 1, no record, and no earned run average at this point in time. He'll get the baseball today to take on the Purcellville Cannons. Again, the Cannons coming at 5-7. Their last time out, they did something the Royals were unable to do the last 2 nights, and that was knock off Woodstock. For you Cannons fans, all your games have been rescheduled. I saw today that they've all been rescheduled, 2 of which will take place in June. This upcoming Monday, you play Covington at home, and the following Monday will be a game against Strasburg at home. The other games have been moved to July. And if time permits, we can check out the calendar in July and let you know when those are going to be. This will be the last meeting here between the Royals and the Cannons this month. The other 2 will take place in the month of July. Vasquez finishing up his warm-up toss as we're about ready to go. The Royals looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. Second time this year the Royals have been on a 2-game losing streak. The last time it extended to 3 before they were able to knock off Front Royal and Front Royal, and then moved to Purcellville to start a 3-game winning streak, which ended earlier this week. Vasquez, one more toss before we throw down to second. Okay, maybe one more. There we go. Now we're ready to kick it off. Defensively for the Royals, out in the outfield, left to right, Jamie Padilla, Bodie Pullen, Connor Guy. Around the infield, third to first, John Emmendorfer, Ty Frito, Todd Abraham, Parker Fry, Joey Agar behind the plate. And again, Brandon Vasquez on the mound, leading it off for the Cannons. Ethan Acevedo, the center fielder from Indian Hills Community College. Acevedo, a .412 hitter, his 9th game, 7 for 17, no home runs, 3 RBIs. Left-handed hitting outfielder steps in. Acevedo, one of those guys you just look at, you can tell he's fast. First pitch in there for a strike. We're underway, 0-1, and oh, Mr. Phillips be happy. We're almost right on time. Minute after 7 by old Mickey. The 0-1. That's downstairs. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1. That'll miss down and in. 2-1. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Good fastball. Count evens up 2-2. Vasquez has his sign, the 2-2 delivery. That'll miss way outside. The count runs full, 3-2. He's gone full on the Cannons leadoff hitter here in the first. 3-2, swung on and missed. He might have chased one out of the zone. Acevedo down on strikes to start the game. Brings up Anthony Fernandez, right fielder from St. Bonaventure. Fernandez, a .289 hitter, his 13th game, 13 for 45, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Another left-handed hitter in the Cannons lineup. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Fernandez and Sanchez. Anybody reaches. Rafael Frical Jr. hitting the cleanup spot for the Purcellville Cannons tonight. The 0-1. That'll miss outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Fastball in there, count 1-2 to the right fielder for the Cannons, Anthony Fernandez. The 1-2, that's going to miss outside and kick all the way to the screen. Count evens up 2-2. Fernandez is 2-2. Swung on and missed. Fernandez strikes out for the second out, second strikeout of the game. That'll bring up Carlos Sanchez. Sanchez, the third baseman from Florida Southwestern State, hitting .500 for the Cannons. He's only played in 1 game. He's 2 for 4. No home runs. He did drive in 2 runs. First right-handed hitter we see for Purcellville in tonight's ball game. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1, outside corner, 0-2. I think Sanchez thought that might have been a little bit outside, but quickly 0-2 the count on the number 3 hole hitter for the Purcellville Cannons. The 0-2, strike 3 called. They're going to say he went. I thought it was strike 3 on the pitch. That pitch was a better pitch than the one he called a strike a pitch ago, but First base umpire said he went too far, so the pitch is immaterial. It'll be strike 3, and the Cannons go in order here in the first. After a half an inning, it's Purcellville 0, Winchester coming to bat. You're listening to the Winchester Royals in Valley Baseball League action. We go to the bottom of the first. Royals and the Cannons. Mark Sarland call for tonight's game between Purcellville and Winchester. On the mound for the Purcellville Cannons from Marshall University, Bauer Burkhart, the right-hander, making his second appearance on the season. He's worked 3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 were earned. He's walked 1, struck out 5. No record, earned run average of 6.00. As he will get start number 2 on the season. The defense behind him out in the outfield, left to right, Rowan Putz, Ethan Acevedo, Anthony Fernandez. Around the infield, short, third to first, Carlos Sanchez, Cariff Valentin, Rafael Furcal Jr., Thomas Marcello, AJ Gatia behind the plate, and again, Bauer Burkhart on the mound, finishing up his warm-up tosses. Throw down to second, and we're ready to go. Bottom half the first. Jamie Padilla, the left fielder from Shenandoah, will lead it off. Padilla playing in his 16th game for the Royals, a .338 hitter. 22 for 65, no home runs, 10 RBIs. He has walked 5 times. He will go if given the opportunity. 8 for 10 in stolen base attempts on the season. Burkhart, another one of those pitchers that goes exclusively from the stretch these days. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. As is the Royal starter, Brandon Vasquez. Royals had a chance to knock off Woodstock last night, couldn't hold a 9th inning lead, and fell to the River Bandits. That pitch off the plate, 1-1, gave up 3 runs in the 9th after fighting back and taking a late lead. The 1-1 to Padilla. Foul tipped at the plate, 1-2 the count. As usual, a nice contingent of fans make the trip up from Purcellville, especially on a Friday night. Most don't have to go to work tomorrow. There's some of us that still do. Not me. I hang out with the dogs all day long. The 1-2 to Padilla. Fouled out of play. We'll do it again, 1-2. Royals trying to get their offense jump-started early here tonight. See if they can't play with a lead. The 1-2 grounded sharply toward third, knocked down by Sanchez onto first in time. Sanchez had to flag it down with his glove, went to his knees, was able to get to his feet and fire across the diamond to retire Padilla. First out here in the inning, and that'll bring up Connor Guy, left-handed hitting right fielder from St. John State River College. Guy has cooled off considerably after a hot start to this season. He is now hitting .233, playing in his 15th game, 10 for 43, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. Again, left-handed hitter. First pitch off the plate for a ball. He walked 5 times in the last 2 games against Woodstock, so has continued to get on base. Burkhart sets. He'll bring the 1-0. Fouled out of play. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Once Sanchez went to his knees, it looked like that Padilla might have a chance to beat it out, but was able to get to his feet and make a strong throw across the diamond to get a speedy Padilla, and didn't really make it all that close. The 1-1 to Guy. That'll miss upstairs, 2-1. Two balls, a strike, one out, bottom of the first, just underway. Winchester trying to draw first blood, looking for the first base runner of the evening. The 2-1 to Guy stays up, 3-1. Again, not a big sample size for Burkhardt, but has not walked a lot of guys in his 2 appearances thus far this season. His 3-1 to Guy. That'll miss down and in and go all the way to the backstop. Guy's going to take a look, but it'll kick back nicely to the catcher. So the Royals will have a 1-out base runner at first for the middle of the order. Todd Abraham up now, the second baseman. Abraham, the second baseman from Binghamton, playing in his 12th game for the Royals, a .235 hitter, 8 for 34. 1 home run, 8 RBIs. The Royals like to see him run one up the alley and get the speedy Guy around the bases. Again, no threat of weather here tonight, but that sun back behind a cloud will make it really nice. First pitch to Abraham, slider downstairs. 1-0. Not only can you see everything in the press box, but it's not 95 degrees blaring right at you. Burkhardt comes set, checks the runner, the 1-0. Fouled out of play. Count evens up 1-1. Guy on the season, if you're looking in that direction, 9 for 9 in stolen bases. See if the Royals try to move him into scoring position here. The 1-1, he's jockeying around at first. Stays there. Line right back up the middle, and Burkhardt had to dive out of the way to avoid getting hit by that one. Guy trying to go first to third, and he is going to be out at third. Nice strong throw by Acevedo to cut down Guy at third, and Guy being aggressive there. Probably give Abraham a base hit. He'll move to second on the throw to third, and he'll be there with 2 outs as Abraham about took Bauer Burkhardt's head off. That was right at his head. Able to dive out of the way. Scored 8-5. Guy being thrown out at third. And that'll bring up Parker Fry. Fry, the first baseman from East Stroudsburg University. Fry, a 180 hitter, his 7th game, 4 for 21, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Royals look like they might have a runner on second and third. Fouled out of play, 1-1 the count. And I don't know, Guy being overly aggressive trying to get to third in that situation, but it took a perfect throw from Acevedo to get him, and he made it. The 1 hop to the bag, and Guy was cut down. The 1-1 to Fry. Drilled to deep right field, going back on it's Fernandez. Fernandez is going to look up, and it's going to be out of the ballpark. Parker Fry, a long home run off of Bauer Burkhardt gives the Royals a 2-run first inning lead. For Fry, his first home run of the season, RBI 6 and 7. He got a hold of a fastball and he turned it around. Fernandez went as far back as he could, and that one's out on Cincinnati Road somewhere. For Fry, a 2 RBIs and a big bomb. That'll bring up John Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer, a .259 hitter, his 9th game, 7 for 27, no home runs, 5 RBIs. He hits with 2 outs and nobody on now. Slider in there for a strike, 0-1. And I've got a bad angle. I can't tell if the third base coach was bringing Guy on the play. That situation, you're usually on your own, ball right in front of you. And he thought he could make it. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-2. So the big bat of Parker Fry shows everybody why he's hitting in the cleanup spot. Gives the Royals a 2-run lead here in the first. The 0-2 to Emmendorfer. Slider downstairs for a ball, 1-2. Fry hit that one right over the 2023 NCAA Super Regional banner for the Hornets. That slider misses downstairs and goes all the way to the backstop. Count evens up 2-2. Two outs, nobody on. Emmendorfer trying to get it going again. The 2-2. That'll miss upstairs, 3-2. Joey Agar waits on deck if Emmendorfer can extend the inning. There are 2 outs. Burkhart comes set, the 3-2. Grounded towards second, tipped by the pitcher, and Africall is going to have to make a move, and he will get to it and throw out Emmendorfer to retire the side. But the Royals pick up 2 runs on the big home run from Parker Fry. Your score after 1 complete, Winchester 2, Purcellville 0. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. We go to the second. Royals lead it 2-0. Purcellville and Winchester. I don't even know where we're at. Throw down to second, and we're ready to go for the Cannons top half of the second. 4-5-6 to hit for Purcellville here in the second for Carl Jr., Marcella, and Brookins. For Carl, the second baseman from San Jacinto College North, will lead it off. A 300 hitter. He's playing in his 9th game, 9 for 30, no home runs, 4 RBIs. Right-handed hitting middle infielder, takes a pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1, that'll miss way outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Vasquez on for his 2nd inning of work. Struck out the Cannons all 3 in the first inning. The 1-1. Popped it up. Coming in from center field is Poland. The infielders will give way, and he'll make the catch in shallow center field. for the first out here in the second inning. That'll bring up Thomas Marcello. Marcello, the first baseman from Western Kentucky. A .231 hitter, his fourth game. 3 for 13, no home runs, no RBIs. Left-handed hitting first baseman. First pitch slider in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. That'll miss down and away, 1-1. The 1-1. Check swing. They're going to say pitch is inside, and I guess the Royals are not going to ask for an appeal on the swing, so it'll be 2-1 to Marcella. He hits with one out here in the top of the second. Grounded towards short. Frito up with it. Couple crow hops. He'll throw on to first in time. 2 outs here in the Purcellville second. Then we got Blake Brookins, the designated hitter from the University of Florida. Brookins also hitting .500 for the Cannons, but just his second game. He's 1 for 2. No home runs, no RBIs. He has scored twice. He's another left-handed hitter. He'll take downstairs for a ball. 1-0 the count as we wait for the bat boy to retrieve the baseball from behind the plate. 1-0 to Blake Brookins. Grounded down the first base line, but foul, and it'll come to a stop right in front of the Purcellville bullpen. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. Top half of the second inning. The 1-2. Tapped foul at the plate. 1-2 the count on Brookins. The 1-2. Lifted towards center field. Poland going back on it. Still going back, and he is going to track it down as he hits the warning track and then bangs into the wall. So Brookings gave it a ride, but Bodie Poland tracks it down in center field. The Cannons go in order here in the second. Nothing doing. Your score after an inning and a half. Winchester 2, Purcellville nothing. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. Welcome back to Bridgeforth Field, Winchester, Virginia, home of the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. We go to the bottom of the second. Mark Sawyer on the call for tonight's game between the Cannons and the Royals. Winchester up a 2-run home run from the bat of Parker Fry leads it. The Royals will send to the plate here in the second. 6, 7, 8. Agar, Frito, and Kaiser. Bauer Burkhart back to the mound for the Cannons. And he's trying to get his middle infielder's attention because he's ready to have it thrown down, and there's nobody at second base. There we go. Now we're ready to go. Joey Agar will lead it off. Royals catcher from Mount St. Mary's. Agar leads the Royals with a .409 average. He's playing in just his 6th game, 9 for 22, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Left-handed hitting catcher. In fact, the Royals' top 3 batting averages on the team are all catchers. Agar, Pokerock, and Ruiz. First pitch to Agar, swung on and missed, 0-1. No balls and a strike. First hitter here in the bottom of the second. Fouled out of play, nothing in two. The 0-2. That'll miss high and away. 1-2. The 1-2 downstairs. Count evens up 2-2. The 2-2. High and away, 3-2. So after getting ahead in the count 0-2, he's run it full now to Agar. Joey trying to get something going for the Royals here in the second. Try to add to a 2-0 lead. Big deep breath, the full count pitch. Lifted towards center field. Should be easy for Acevedo. He'll take a couple steps into left field and make the catch for the first out here in the second. Going to bring up Ty Fredo, the shortstop from Mount St. Mary's. Ty not off to the start he was hoping for at the plate. Hitting just .083, playing in his 10th game, 2 for 24. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Right-handed hitting infielder. Plays all over for the Royals, mostly short and third, but will venture over to second if need be. First pitch to Fredo. In there for a strike, 0-1, and that's that borderline strike when you're hitting .083 you never get. If you're hitting 400, that's a ball. The 0-1. There's same spot, different pitch. It's 0-2, and Ty thought they were both outside. 0-2 the count on the Royals shortstop. One out here in the second. The 0-2. Lifted toward left field. Putt's going back, and he is going to catch it about a step and a half shy of the warning track in left field. So quickly, 2 Royals gone here in the second. That'll bring up Ian Kaiser. Kaiser, the designated hitter, hitting in the 8-hole tonight for the Royals. His first at bat as a Royal. He's been on the mound a few times for Winchester, but taking his first swings, a left-handed hitting designated hitter. First pitch to Kaiser, plays his baseball at Binghamton. The boys at Binghamton had themselves a nice run as they made it to a regional. Ran into a buzzsaw at the University of Georgia, amongst others, in their regional. The 0-1. That'll miss outside. Count evens 1-1, and that was a strike on Fredo. Just Burkhart comes set, the 1-1. That's downstairs, 2-1. Kaiser pinch ran last night in the Royals game after Troy Davis was hit in the head with a pitch. So, precautionary reasons, they pulled Davis out and put Kaiser in to run the bases. That's downstairs for a ball, 3-1. A couple of those pitches look pretty close. Of course, that was in the bottom of the ninth. The Royals didn't rally to tie, so didn't have to figure out who was going to play left field after Davis came out of the game. Burkhart's 3-1 to Kaiser. Fouled out of play. Count runs full, 3-2. And I tell you what, for a pitcher, he had a pretty good hack. He gets a base hit. He's going to go home, call his college coach, and say, "Coach, I want to hit next year." 3-2 pitch from Burkhart. Lifted toward right field. Fernandez will take a couple steps back. Now he'll come in and make the catch. So 3 fly balls for the Royals here in the second. Nothing doing, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Your score after 2 completes, Winchester 2, Purcellville nothing. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. We go to the third. Royals and Cannons live from Bridgeforth Field. Game number 16 in the Royals schedule this season for the Cannons. They're playing in their 13th game. Royals so far lead the season series 1-0 based on a victory in Purcellville last week. These two teams will do it again next Saturday night back in Purcellville. Fireman's Field, a beautiful ballpark if you've never been there. 7-8-9 to hit for the Cannons here in the third. Catcher A.J. Gotia will lead it off. Catcher from Texas Tech, right-handed hitting catcher. Let's see if we can find Mr. Gotia on the stat sheet here. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1, and it doesn't look like he's on the stat sheet, so it looks like he might be playing in his first game for the Cannons. Slider misses down and away. Count evens up 1-1. I'll double check and make sure I'm not missing somebody here. I get the computer to cooperate. Swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove, 1-2. And we will go with his first at bat as a Cannon. Right-handed hitting catcher, batting in the 7 hole for the Cannons. The 1-2. That'll miss out, 2-2. Vasquez back to the mound for the Royals. He's retired the first 6 he's faced here tonight. The 2-2. Line toward right field, and that's going to get in for a base hit. That's going to go up the alley. Gotia rounding first. He's going to head to second as Poland will corral it and get it back in. He doubles to the right center field fence for the first hit and first runner of the game for Purcellville. That'll bring up Kareem Valentine, shortstop from Florida International. Kareem looks like he might be another new hitter for the Cannons. I don't see his name on the stat sheet either. So we'll assume another new hitter. So a couple that bunt will be batted foul on the play at second base. Apparently he didn't throw it to second. He threw it to the second baseman, so they called a ball on Vasquez. So the count even at 1-1. Mass confusion As the Cannon's trying to get a runner in a scoring position. He'll bring it right back to Vasquez. He'll throw it to third. Ill-advised as he was losing his footing. He threw it high and able to slide in safely as Gotilla, probably with a 2-run lead, just take the out at first base, but he decided not to do that. Valentin will be at first on a fielder's choice. Gotilla will move to third, and the Cannons will have the tying run on base for Rohan Putz. And it's going to be the third consecutive hitter in the lineup that hasn't played a game for the Cannons yet. It does look like the first two did well. They're both on. First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. So Putz from Kansas State area I'm very familiar with. The hitter, the 1-0, downstairs for a ball, 2-0. So a leadoff double, a fielder's choice, and all of a sudden Vasquez behind in the count with the top of the order looming. Swung on and missed. Good live fastball there. 2-1 the count. So the Cannons were playing for a run to get him to third base, and the Royals, instead of taking the out at first, made a wide throw. Tap toward third. Chance to come to the plate. They're going to try to turn it over to first. Not going to be in time. So Emmendorfer had a choice to make. He had a chance to cut the runner down at the plate. He had plenty of time, but decided to go up the middle, try to turn two. They retire Valentin at second, 5-4. But the relay to first not in time. It'll be the second consecutive fielder's choice. Give Putz his first RBI of the season. And the Cannons have crawled to within one. Back to the top of the order now for Ethan Acevedo, who struck out his first time. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. And again, Putz playing in his first game for the Cannons, so has not attempted a stolen base for them as of yet. He's at first with one out. See if the Cannons try to get the tying run into scoring position here for the top of the order. Acevedo, the left-handed hitting outfielder. The 0-1. That'll miss outside. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Leadoff double's already come in to score. They got a runner at first with just one out. Purcellville tries to get even here in the third. That'll miss inside, and that'll hit him in the back. Either got him in the head or the small of the back. Either way, Cannons will have tying run in scoring position now. As Putz will move to second, Acevedo will head down to first, and they'll bring up Anthony Fernandez. Fernandez 0-1. He struck out his first time up. Vasquez and the Royals hoping for a ground ball here. See if they can't roll one over. Popped it up, should be easy. Emmendorfer telling everybody he'll take care of it, and he will, as it'll be an infield fly rule anyway. So Fernandez will pop up to the third baseman for the second out of the inning. A big out there for Vasquez, and that'll bring up Sanchez. Third baseman struck out looking his first time up. He's 0-2, or 0-1 rather. Tying run at second, the lead run for the Cannons at first. Top half of the third. Vasquez's first pitch to Sanchez, fouled into the screen, 0-1. Putz at second, Acevedo at first. Cannons trying to cash in a couple fielders' choices. Runners off with the pitch. That's going to go all the way to the backstop. So you're going to give the runner going to third a stolen base. He was off with the pitch. I don't think you can give a stolen base and a wild pitch on the same pitch. So I guess it'll be a couple stolen bases. Putz was definitely going. Acevedo wasn't, but once the ball went to the backstop, he took off. The 1-1. That'll miss outside, 2-1. So that ball's hammered deep to left, hooking, and it's going to be a foul ball. Carlos Sanchez just put a spark into the Purcellville crowd and just missed a 3-run blast. As I was conferring, I stand corrected. Vasquez will be charged with a wild pitch, so Putz will be credited with a stolen base going to third. Acevedo did not go on the pitch, so he will move up to second on the wild pitch. They all almost scored on that blast to left at hooked foul. 2-2 the count now on the Purcellville third baseman. The wind, and he threw that one all the way to the backstop. Chance to get him at the plate, but Vasquez wasn't covering the plate. That ball just slipped out of his hand and went all the way to the backstop in the air. Agar played it beautifully and went to flip to the plate, but nobody was there. So the Cannons will tie the game up on a wild pitch. Where have I heard that before? So that'll be the second wild pitch charged to Vasquez in the inning, and it looked like he may have hurt himself on the pitch to begin with, which may have been the reason he wasn't at the plate. So the Royals continuing to check on Vasquez, and it looks like he may be coming out of the game. Looks like he may not be able to continue. So whoever the Royals decide to bring in will have as much time as he needs to warm up, and that will indeed be the end of the line for Vasquez today. He'll leave with an injury. Connor Chansey will be the new pitcher for the Royals, right-hander from West Liberty University. And of course, with the injury to Vasquez, he will have as much time to warm up as he needs, as he was not up and throwing. So the Royals, not exactly what they were looking for here to start the ball game. Got off to a nice start, but a hiccup here in the third. The Cannons have tied it up. And I guess realizing that he wasn't covering the plate, should have known that something was up with the Royals pitcher. So Chansey just now getting to the mound. Will start throwing his warm-up tosses. For Connor Chansey on the season for the Royals, making his fourth appearance, all in relief. He's worked 6 1/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 runs. They're both earned. 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. He's 1-0 with a 2.84 earned run average. And again, he'll have plenty of time to get loose because of the injury to Brandon Vasquez. While we got a minute, we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard. Woodstock leads Front Royal 5-0. They're in the top of the fifth. Covington all over Harrisonburg. That's 7-1 at top of the fourth. Charlottesville, Waynesboro 2-2. They're in the top of the second. Just underway between Culpeper and Stanton. They're 0-0 still at the top of the first. And no update from Strasburg and Newmarket. I don't know if there was some rain down. No, now it says they're in the bottom of the first. So Strasburg and Newmarket are underway. While we have a minute, we'll get some totals for Vasquez on the game. Again, Chansey getting all the time he needs to get loose. Vasquez goes 2 2/3. So far he's allowed 2 runs. They're both earned. Just one hit. Has not walked anybody. Struck out 3, but all 3 of those were in the first inning. Has been charged with 2 wild pitches. He hit a batter. And again, the runner at third base is his responsibility. So he could still take the loss here, depending on what happens the next 6 innings. But Chansey hoping to keep that runner at third and keep him out of the decision because he can't win it. So Chansey says he's ready to go. And he will face Carlos Sanchez. Of course, the count will remain the same. I should have waited because if Sanchez walks here, it'll be charged to Vasquez because the count is 3-2. First pitch, grounded toward third. Up with it is Emmendorfer. He will fire across the diamond in time. So Chansey comes on, throws one pitch, gets the Royals out of the inning. But for the Cannons, a profitable inning. They scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no Winchester errors. The Cannons will leave the lead run at third base. Your score after 2.5 is now Purcellville 2, Winchester 2. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. Welcome back to Bridgeforth Field, Winchester, Virginia. We go to the bottom of the third inning. The Cannons have rallied to tie this one 2-2 with 2 runs in their half of the third. Burkhart back to the mound for Purcellville. He's given up just 2 hits, a single and a home run in the first inning for the Royals runs. And the Royals have been retired 4 in a row since then. Bodie Pullen will lead it off for Winchester, the center fielder from Shepherd University, who will lead it off. Throw to second base doesn't get there as it sails into center field. Pullen playing in his 12th game for the Royals, a .231 hitter, 6 for 26. No home runs, 2 RBIs. Good speed if he can get on. Played his high school baseball locally at James Wood. So you know the big crowd here would like to see Bodie do well. especially in a 2-2 game. Get the Royals going here in the third. Grounded towards third, up with it to Sanchez. He'll set his feet, throw on to first, and plenty of time to retire Poland. And that's 5 in a row retired by the Purcellville right-hander. Brings up Jamie Padilla. Padilla also grounded to third his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch fouled out of play. 0-1 the counts on Jamie Padilla. Burkhart sets the 0-1 to Padilla. That'll catch the outside corner. 0-2 the count on the Royals left fielder Jamie Padilla, trying to get the Royals going with one out here in the third of a 2-2 game. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Royals. 2 runs, 1 hit for the Cannons. Neither team's committed an error. Line toward right field, but it's going to be right at Fernandez. Fernandez started to move and then thought, nope, I'm right where I need to be. And he was for out number 2. Connor Guy, he's walked for the 6th time in the last 3 games. Walked in the first inning, was thrown out trying to go first to third on a base hit at third base. First pitch to Guy. Downstairs for a ball, 1-0. Guy Padilla kind of flip-flop between the 1 and 2 spots throughout the year. Royals still trying to figure out the exact way they want to set their lineup. This one grounded up the middle, but right at Fracall, who will set his feet and throw on to first. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Burkhart and the Cannons. Nothing doing for the Royals here in the third. We go to the fourth. Your score, Purcellville 2, Winchester 2. You listen to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. We go to the fourth. Royals and Cannons tied 2-2. Connor Chansey back to the mound for the Royals. He threw one pitch to get out of the last inning. He'll face the middle of the order, 4-5-6 for Purcellville here as that slider swung on and missed. Rafael Fracall Jr. flew to center field his first time. He's 0 for 1. The 0-1 will miss out. Count evens up 1-1. The fielder's choice ground ball got the Cannons on the board. A wild pitch tied the game up last inning. The 1-1. That'll miss outside, 2-1. Chansey's 2-1 to Fracall. Popped it up. Going back on it is Fry. Coming in is Guy. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to get there. It's going to hit the top of the fence and bounce out of play. So probably a good thing neither one of them could get close enough, because somebody might have run into the fence and hurt themselves, because that thing landed right on the top of the fence. 2-2 the count on the Cannons cleanup hitter, Rafael Fricall Jr. Purcellville's second baseman, trying to get them going here in the fourth, the 2-2. Check swing, did he go? They're going to say he did not. Slider down and away. Fricall was able to lay off of it. Count runs full, 3-2. Chansey has his sign, the one, the payoff pitch. Strike three called. Fricall was headed toward first. And the thing about that being called a strike, maybe it's a strike, maybe it's not, but he's not calling it the same every time, because earlier in the count, that was a ball. Same at bat. That'll bring up Thomas Marcella, first baseman. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time. Left-handed hitting first baseman will take a pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. There's a youngster downstairs that's not happy. The three new players for the Cannons got them on the board in the third. 7, 8, 9 counted for their 2 runs. Swung on and missed. Count evens up 1-1. A double, a fielder's choice, another fielder's choice, a stolen base, and a wild pitch. And just like that, we're 2-2. That pitch will miss downstairs and roll all the way to the backstop. 2-1 the count. Royals win this one. They're a game and a half ahead of Purcellville in the middle of the Northern Division standings. Purcellville wins this one, and they overtake the Royals, and Winchester will drop to 5th. Swung on and missed. Count evens up 2-2. And a lot of things will take place before these two teams get together again next week in Purcellville. The Royals have 5 games, 6 games before that. I think the Cannons have more than that. The 2-2 grounded towards second. Abraham will field, sets, and throws. Out number 2 here in the fourth. The entire league plays next Wednesday, except for Woodstock and Winchester, because those two teams played here this past Wednesday when everybody else in the league had the night off. So the Royals will play 4 more games in a row than have Wednesday off. The Cannons don't have that luxury. Looks like they're playing pretty much up to the 4th of July holiday. Swung on and missed, 0-1. That's the thorn in the side about getting rained out so many times. You don't get a day off for a while unless Mother Nature gets you that day off. The 0-1. Check swing, did he go? They're going to say he did not. Count evens up 1-1. So yes, Purcellville, their next day off will not be until July the 4th, barring any more rain. And then after that, they're back-to-back until the All-Star break, which is the 13th. That pitch off the plate for a ball, 2-1. So lots of baseball coming for the Cannons and their fans. Big deep breath from Chansey at the 2-1. Lifted out of play. Emmendorf will give it a look, but it'll be back beyond the batting cages. Evens the count 2-2. Chansey's retired the only 3 hitters he's faced here since coming on in relief. Trying to keep that streak intact here. The 2-2 off the end of the bat. Cued toward the Royals dugout. Count holds 2-2. And now the umpire will take a ball from the bat boy and flip it to the Royals dugout. I guess he didn't like that one. Bat boy picked it up and brought it right back. And I guess he's going to hold the game up while He's having a discussion with one of the Royals in the dugout. I don't know what that's about, but in the meantime, Brookins had gone back to the dugout for some reason. Anyway, Brookins back in, the umpire back, 2-2 the count. And that'll miss downstairs, 3-2. Three balls, two strikes, two outs, top of the fourth, 2-2 ball game. A lot of twos on the board out there. Swung on and missed. He chased ball four. Brookins down on strikes to end the fourth for the Cannons. 1-2-3 and out for Purcellville here in the fourth. Your score after 3.5 remains Purcellville 2, Winchester 2. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. Welcome back to Bridgeforth Field, Winchester, Virginia. Mark Sawyer on the call. Nice game between the Cannons and the Royals. We go to the bottom of the fourth of a 2-2 game. Winchester 2 in the first. Purcellville tied it with 2 in the third. And that's where we are as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Bauer Burkhart back on the mound for the Cannons. He'll face the middle of the Royals order. 3-4-5. Abraham Fry Emmendorfer. Abraham 1 for 1. He singled and scored. Came in on the Parker Fry 2-run home run in the first. The Royals 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Cannons 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors. First pitch to Abraham. Abraham single about took Burkhart's hat off with him as he lined it right back at the pitcher into center field. 0-1 the count on the Royals second baseman. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Good hard slider down and away. Abraham swung over the top. 0-2 the count. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Another good slider, and Abraham down on strikes. First out here in the fourth inning. First strikeout for Bauer Burkhart. That'll bring up Parker Fry. Fry, 2-run home run in the first. He's 1 for 1 with a couple of RBIs. He gave it a ride to right. Got the crowd excited for the time being. Now a 2-2 game. They're trying to get going again, and our PA guy forgot to turn the music off. First pitch to Fry in there for a strike, 0-1. Grounded toward first. Marcella rather, will flip to Burkhart covering for the second out in the inning. That'll bring up Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time. He'll hit here with 2 outs and nobody on in the Royals' fourth. Nice crowd on hand for a Friday evening game. No rain in the forecast. The first pitch to Emmendorfer will catch the outside corner, 0-1. Grounded sharply to third. Up with it is Sanchez. He will throw low throw to first, and it's going to skip past. And Emmendorfer is going to cruise into second base. Sanchez made the easy play at third and then kind of lollipopped it to first. He short hopped Marcella. Marcella couldn't come up with it. Nobody was backing it up. Went all the way to the fence. And Emmendorfer is going to be at second on the two-base throwing error by the Cannons third baseman, Carlos Sanchez. First error of the ball game for either team, and now the Royals with the two-out base hit here from Agar can retake the lead. Kind of a bad break for Burkhardt as he was out of the inning. That pitch off the plate for a ball. 1-0. Agar on the season. 6 RBIs for the Royals, trying to pick up another one here. Padilla leads the team with 10 RBIs. The 1-0 to Joey Agar. Swung on and missed, had a good hack, came up empty on a fastball about letter high. Count evens up 1-1. The 1-1. Downstairs for a ball, 2-1. And that's going to bring a visit from Gatea. He's going to go out and have a chat with his pitcher. The meeting on the mound is over. Gatea will come back to the plate. Burkhardt will reset, and he'll go to work with 2 outs and runner at second base. Royals trying to push across the lead run here in the 4th. Emmendorfer got to second on a 2-base throwing error. The 2-1. Down and away, 3-1. Ty Fredo waits on deck. If Agar can extend the inning for the Royals here. The 3-1. Swung on, foul tipped into the catcher's glove. He had a pretty good hack at a fastball, but came up empty. Count runs full, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Burkhardt's payoff. Misses outside. Agar will draw the walk. And he'll be at first now with 2 outs for Ty Fredo. Fredo 0 for 1. He flew to the left his first time. Fredo would love to get a big hit here and jumpstart his offense for the summer. He has 4 RBIs on the season. First pitch, he popped it up. Should be easy for Acevedo in center field, and he will settle under it in left center field and pull it in. So Fredo flies out to center. 2 in the inning. The Royals get a couple runners on with 2 outs. Can't move them around. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error. The Royals leave their first 2 on for the game. After 4, your score. Purcellville 2, Winchester 2. You're listening to the Winchester Royals in Valley Baseball League action. We go to the fifth. Royals Cannons tied at 2. 7-8-9 to hit for Purcellville here in the fifth. This is the three guys that got their 2 runs for him in the third. Gatea let it off with a double to the right center field alley. Came in to score on a fielder's choice. 1 for 1 with a run scored. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1, grounded sharply but foul. Headed toward the Royals bullpen, 0-2 the count on the Purcellville catcher. Chancey's 0-2. Swung on and missed. He waved at a breaking ball. Gatea down on strikes for the first out here in the fifth. They'll bring up Kareem Valentine. He is 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice, was erased on another fielder's choice. 0 for 1 in the middle of the game here. First pitch from Chancey. Misses inside. 1-0 the count. Woodstock all over Front Royal, 6-0. They're in the bottom of the sixth. The 1-0. Fisted toward center field. Poland took a step back. Now he'll come in and make the catch. 2 outs here in the fifth. Brings up Rohan Putz. Putz drove in the first run of the game with the fielder's choice. Came around to score the tying run on a wild pitch. Just 3 hits for the 2 teams combined through the first 4+ innings. First pitch from Chancey. Misses down and away. 1-0 the count. Royals got both their hits in the first. Cannons got their hit in the third. The 1-0 from Chancey. That'll miss down and away. 2-0. Purcellville made it 2 out there in the fourth. The Royals couldn't capitalize on it. Now the 2-0 from Chancey. Line toward left. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Putz on base for the second time. Picks up his first hit as a Cannon. And that takes us back to the top of the order. Ethan Acevedo 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch. He's also struck out. Got all the way around to third base on a couple of wild pitches, but was stranded there in the Cannons' 2-run third inning. Again, Putz at first, just the second time he's been on base as a Cannon, so no stolen base attempts. Acevedo squares the bunt. Takes it outside for a ball, 1-0. Chancey comes set, the 1-0. That'll miss upstairs, 2-0. Acevedo showing bunt a couple times here with 2 outs. Line toward right field, coming on his guy. He's going to have to play it on a hop. Rounding second and heading to third is Putz. The throw to third is not going to be in time. And now on the throw to third, Acevedo will go to second. Guy overthrew the cutoff man trying to get the runner at third. And on the throw, Acevedo moves up to second. The Cannons will have runners on second and third now with 2 outs for Anthony Fernandez, who is 0 for 2. Fernandez struck out in the first, popped to third in the third. And a base hit will give the Cannons a 2-run lead here in the fourth. Chancey trying to keep that from happening. First pitch to Fernandez, swung on and missed. He had a home run hack, came up empty. Fastball on the outside part. And Fernandez wasn't thinking about a base hit for 2 runs. He was trying to make it 5-2 with 1 swing. Chansey's 0-1. Slider down and in. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Fernandez hits with 2 outs. Cannons threatening to take their first lead of the game here. The 1-1. That catches the outside corner, 1-2, and Fernandez doesn't say anything, but you can just tell he wasn't thrilled with the call. 1-2. Chansey trying to work around a couple of 2-out base hits here. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. He pulled the string. Fernandez down on strikes. Chansey works out of it. For the Cannons here in the 5th. No runs on 2 hits. No errors. They'll leave 2 in scoring position. Your score after 4.5. We're halfway home. Purcellville 2, Winchester 2. You're listening to the Winchester Royals in Valley Baseball League action. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Royals Cannons tied 2-2 from Bridgeforth Field. 8-9-1 to hit for the Royals here in the 5th. Kaiser pulling back to the top of the order for the Royals. Kaiser 0-for-1 in his Royals hitting debut. He flew to center field to end the 4th inning. Trying to get on base and get the Royals going here in the 5th. He'll line this one toward left center field. Going back on it and making the catch is Putz as he cut it off in the alley. Off the bat, it looked good, but Putz able to cut it off and retire Kaiser for the first out of the inning. I bring up Bodie Poland. Poland grounded at third his first time. 0-for-1. Cannons now out hitting the Royals 3-2 with those 2 hits in the 5th. Score 2-2. First pitch to Poland. In there for a strike, 0-1. Poland's dad, Adrian, here in attendance this evening. Adrian, one of my former players, outfielder on the 1992 championship Winchester Royals team. The 0-1. High and tight. Count evens up 1-1. I made such an impression on Adrian after his summer with us. He transferred to George Mason. I seriously doubt I had anything to do with it, but thought I'd throw that out there. Fouled out of play, 1-2 the count. Ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-2 bottom of the 5th. Royals could use a base runner here. The 1-2. Didn't mean to. Fouled into the screen. Count holds 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes to Bodie Poland with 1 out here in the 5th. Line towards short for Call. I'm sorry, for Call's playing second. Valentin will fill it on 1 hop. Throw to first, not going to be in time. Poland will beat it. Let's see how they score it. Lost track of who was playing shortstop and missed a play at first base because I had the wrong guy at short. And Call wants to know why he was safe. It is Call questioning the call. They're going to give Poland an infield hit. So Poland just beats it at first. He's at first now with 1 out for Jamie Padilla, who's 0 for 2. And he'll be in there with a base hit. The Royals get a couple of 1-out base hits as Padilla lines one into center field. Poland will stop at second. Now Connor Guy will step up. Guy is 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out. Good speed on the bases for the Royals. You'd like to see Guy run one up the alley. Maybe I should quit saying that because every time I say it, it never happens. First pitch to Guy. The Royals now 4 hits on the game. That's inside for a ball, 1-0, and Gatia got crossed up. He was going to go out and have a chat with his pitcher. Royals haven't had a lot of runners at second base, just the second time that has happened, and apparently the pitcher was using one set of signs and the catcher was using another set, and they decided that wasn't going to work out all that well, so they wanted to get on the same page. Now looks like they're ready to go. 1-0 the count, and Guy and Gatia having a good chuckle about it, so apparently that's exactly what happened. 1-0 the count. Guy trying to drive in the lead run here in the Royals' 5th. Burkhardt has this sign. Takes a look at the runners. The 1-0 to Guy. That's downstairs for a ball, 2-0. Guy in the last 3 games has walked 6 times. 3 times Wednesday night against Woodstock, twice last night, and once here tonight. Royals probably be okay with that. Bring the middle of the order up with the bases loaded and 1 out. See if they can't shake some runs out of this tree. The 2-0 to Guy. Check swing, didn't mean to. He fouled it into the screen, 2-1. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Todd Abraham waits on deck. He has one of the 4 Royals hits. Outside of the Parker Fry home run, probably the hardest hit of the game for the Royals. Burkhardt's 2-1. Fastball right down the middle, 2-2 the count. Not sure if Guy thought it was up or if he was expecting something else, but he took a fastball right down the tube there. Evens the count, 2-2. Good speed on the bases. Poland at second, Padilla at first. The 2-2. Line into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Poland's going to round. He's coming to the plate. The throw to the plate is going to be not in time. Poland will score standing up to give the Royals a 3-2 lead. Connor Guy with the big RBI single scores Poland, who's hustle got him on base on the infield hit to begin with. Padilla stops at second. Guy's at first, and now Abraham will hit with 1 out. Runners on first and second. And the Royals back on top now, 3-2, and Abraham can help the Royals put up a crooked number on that scoreboard here. The first pitch to Abraham is going to get away. He's going to bat, and Gatia can't find it. It'll be a wild pitch. It goes the other way this time. The Royals will move runners into second and third. And now a base hit from Abraham will give them a 3-run lead. I believe that's just the first wild pitch charged to Burkhart here this evening. 1-0. The Cannons are going to bring the corner infielders in. Now they're going to bring everybody in. They're going to try to cut the runners off the plate here in the 5th inning, down a run. Slider in there for a strike, 1-1. Purcellville in on the infield grass, trying to cut the runner off the plate. The 1-1 to Abraham. Swung on and missed. He had a healthy hat, came up empty. He wasn't thinking about a base hit. He wanted to knock some lights out of the scoreboard. 1-2 the count now. Parker Fry waits on deck. There is just one out here in the Royals' 5th inning. Burkhart comes set. The 1-2. Fouled out of play. We'll do it again. 1-2. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Royals. 2 runs, 3 hits, an error for the Cannons. Royals, 3 of their 5 hits have come in this inning. In fact, they've come in the last 3 hitters. An infield single by Poland. Back-to-back line drive singles to center field by Padilla and Guy. They're at second and third now with 1 out. Abraham trying to cash him in. The 1-2. Slider down and away. Laid off at 2-2. Two-two to Guy. I'm sorry, 2-2 to Abraham. Catches the outside corner. He's rung up on strikes. Abraham thought it was outside, but he is down on strikes for the second out here in the inning. A big out there for Burkhart and the Cannons, and it looks like Burkhart will be lifted here at this point. Backtracking a little bit for Connor Guy, his 5th RBI of the season. And that will spell the end of the game for Bauer Burkhart. Cannons going to the bullpen. We'll take a look at who it is and give you Burkhart's numbers. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. It's Winchester 3, Purcellville 2. We were playing in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 outs, and the Cannons making a pitching change. Ryan Gargett will be the new pitcher for the Cannons. Right-hander from Eckerd College. He'll come on with runners on second and third and 2 outs, facing Parker Fry. Gargett quickly checking. There he is. He's way at the top. Gargett making his 2nd appearance, both in relief. He's worked 1 inning, no hits, no runs. He's walked 1, struck out none. No record and no earned run average for Ryan Gargett, the new Cannons pitcher here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trying to keep the Royals to just the 1 run here in the inning. So Burkhart's night is over. He goes 4 2/3. He gives up 5 hits. He walks 2, strikes out 2. 1 wild pitch. He did give up the Fry home run. So far, he's given up 3 runs. They're all earned, but the runners on base are both his responsibility. As Fry, who homered in the first, tries to pick up 2 more RBIs here in the 5th. First pitch downstairs for a ball, 1-0. Fry doesn't have to work as hard for 2 RBIs at this at-bat. A base hit will make it 5-2. His home run, a nice shot in the first. Got the Royals off and running. The 1-0. Misses down and in, 2-0. Now he's in the driver's seat, a chance to look for a certain pitch in a certain spot and see if he can't run one up the alley, if not better. Carr gets Wine, the 2-0. Fastball right in there for a strike. 0-1. Looks like Fry taking all the way there. Two balls, a strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. Royals lead it now 3-2. That'll miss inside and almost hit him. Count 3-1 now. John Emmendorfer waits on deck if Fry can extend the inning. Royals 3 hits in the inning. Just 1 run to show for it. Fry trying to change that. Gargett has his sign, the Wine, the 3-1. Fouled out of play, 3-2. Got the fastball he was looking for. He fouled it out of play. Count runs full on Fry. Big at bat for both teams. Royals trying to extend the lead. Gargett trying to keep it right at 3-2. Both bullpens are silent. Nothing going on. Gargett has his sign. The Wine, the 3-2. Hammered deep to center field, but Acevedo is going to take a couple steps back and make the catch as he hit it right at where Acevedo was, just a couple steps deep. Fry hits it on the nose, but he'll fly out to end the inning. Gargett does his job for the Royals, a run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and the Royals will leave 2 in scoring position. Your score after 5 complete. Winchester 3, Purcellville 2. You listen to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. We go to the 6th. The Royals lead it 3-2. New pitcher on for the Royals. Dominic Vasallo, right-hander from Long Island University, will take over for Connor Chansey. Vasallo making his 4th appearance, all in relief. He's worked 5 2/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs. They're all earned. 7 walks, 5 strikeouts, no record. Earned run average of 4.76. Dominic Vasallo, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Royals, takes over for Connor Chansey, who stands to be the winner if the Royals can hold on to this lead. But there is a long ways to go before that takes place. Purcellville will face the middle of the order for the Cannons. 3, 4, 5. Sanchez, Furcal Jr., and Marcella. Sanchez 0 for 2. He struck out looking and grounded out. Purcellville's first pitch, way outside, off the glove for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 in there for a strike, 1-1. Purcellville has this sign. He'll come set. The 1-1. That's way outside, 2-1. Close the book on Connor Chansey. Chansey goes 2 1/3, no runs, 2 hits, did not walk anybody, 4 strikeouts. Stands to be the winning pitcher if the Royals can hold on, but again, a long way to go. The 2-1 fouled out of play. Count evens up 2-2. Woodstock continues to lead Front Royal 6-0. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Harrisonburg has rallied. They now lead Covington 9-8. They are in the top of the 6th. Culpeper continues to lead Stanton 5-2. They are in the top of the 4th. The 2-2 fouled into the screen. We'll do it again, 2-2. Charlottesville leads Waynesboro 4-2. They're in the 5th. And it's Strasburg 4, Newmarket nothing. They are in the top of the 5th. So for the first time in a noticeable amount of days, everybody getting a game in tonight. The 2-2. Fouled down the line. Fry's going to give it a look, but I don't think he's going to have room to get there. It will foul out of play for a souvenir, actually a freezy pop for some youngster that's going to race down there and pick it up. Count holds at 2-2. Carlos Sanchez, the Purcellville third baseman, plays his baseball at Florida Southwestern State, and I'm guessing Florida Southwestern State's colors are purple based on his helmet. The 2-2 again fouled out of play, about where the last one landed, but this time on a line. That's going to bounce out into the Jim Barnett Park somewhere, so it's going to be a little tougher to track down for a freezy pop. Count holds 2-2. Purcellville's 2-2. Again fouled out of play. Carlos Sanchez having himself a good at-bat, fouling off some pitches here to stay alive in the count, looking for something he can handle. Become the tying run on base here in the Purcellville 6th inning. Purcellville comes set, the 2-2. Again fouled it off. Backing out of play. Count holds 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, what I meant to say. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Royals. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Cannons. Purcellville comes set, his 2-2 to Sanchez. Grounded towards short, Fredo up with it on the throw, throws on the run and will retire Sanchez at first. So a good at-bat by Carlos Sanchez, but nothing to show for it as he'll ground out for the first out here in the 6th. And that'll bring up Rafael Furcal Jr. 0 for 2. He's flown to center, struck out looking. Plays his baseball at San Jacinto College North. When I played junior college baseball, it was just San Jacinto, and they were probably one of the best baseball teams I ever saw in my life. I don't know if there's a South for them now or what the difference is, but if you wanted to get to the College World Series, you had to go through San Jacinto, and we never did. Off the plate for a ball, 1-0. We tried. We didn't make it. The 1-0. Tap down the third base line. Emmendorfer coming on hard, and now he's going to let it roll, and it's going to roll and hit the bag. It's going to be a fair ball. And it looks like Furcal might have hurt himself after he hit the bag as he rolls over in a heap down the right field line. So a lot of stuff going on. Emmendorfer came on. Only play he had was to barehand it, and he decided to let it roll, and it rolled all the way down the line and hit the bag. for a fair ball. So Furcall will be credited with the base hit, but now the concern is on Furcall is I was watching the ball. He hit the bag and he went down in a heap in foul territory on the right field side, and he's headed toward the dugout. So it looks like his night is going to be over. For the second night in a row, we've seen the opposing team lose a middle infielder to injury. This time on the offensive side. So we'll see who the Cannons go with here as a pinch runner, but so still waiting on the Cannons to make a decision on who's going to run. And I think the Royals trainer is over with the injured player, and they're going to have a couple guys start playing catch. I don't think they realize that he's in the game as a base runner because Furcall was safe on the ground ball that hit the bag. So the two guys that are playing catch, one of them's going to have to grab a helmet and go to first. So I think the message has been relayed to the young man who will take over at first, and he's gone in to get a helmet. It'll be number 2 will be the pinch runner. Mitsuki Kono from Japan plays his baseball at Johnson University. Will be the pinch runner, and we'll assume probably stay in to play second base. But right now, Kono, the pinch runner, and I don't have enough room on my sheet to write down his whole name, so we're just going to go with Kono for now. And maybe we'll remember his first name when the time comes. Let's take a look at Mr. Kono and see. First pitch to Marcella in there for a strike, 0-1. Marcella is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. The Royals would like to see him hit a ground ball to one of their middle infielders. Kono is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. They got him picked off, but they throw it away. Basello picked him off at first. Kono took off for second. Fry's throw was to the inside part of the bag, and Fredo not able to catch and put the tag on as Kono will steal second. As I was just getting ready to say, he's 4 for 4. Now he's 5 for 5. The Cannons have the tying run in scoring position, and takes the double play out of circulation here. The 0-1 will miss inside 1-1. So Basello gave up an excuse me single down the third base line that hit the bag. A stolen base, and now a base hit ties the game up. With just one out here, and the Cannons 6th off the plate for a ball, 2-1. So Furcall going all out, trying to beat the play at first when there was actually no play. He probably didn't know that. Hurt himself going into the bag. The 2-1 to Marcella. That'll miss inside, 3-1. The 3-1 grounded forward second. Abraham will field. Throw to first. Parker Fry picks it clean for the out. Not only gets the out, but saves an error for his second baseman. And now Brookins will hit with 2 outs and a runner at third. And oh, lo and behold, Be careful here, as this is where the Royals tend to throw some wild pitches. Brookings 0 for 2. He's flown to center and struck out. Hope Agar behind the plate knocks everything down. That fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. The Cannons a base hit, wild pitch, air away from tying this up. That's going to tie it up as a center fly ball to center field is going to drop in. RBI single off the bat of Blake Brookings will tie the game. He got a fastball and he lined it to center. Poland had to hold up and play it on a hop, and we're tied again as Kono comes in to tie the game. And that'll bring up A.J. Gataya, the catcher. 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the third. And he hits now with 2 outs, runner at first. That slider catches the outside part of the plate. Connor Chansey can no longer win it. Bauer Burkhart can no longer lose it. The 0-1, that'll miss down and away. Count evens up 1-1. So an excuse me single down the third base line turns into a run for the Cannons, and we're 3-3 here in the sixth. The 1-1, that'll miss down and away, 2-1. The 2-1 will miss downstairs. Count goes 3-1, and now Basello a bad one away from putting the lead run in scoring position. He'll come set, checks the runner at first, the 3-1. That's in there for a strike, 3-2, and that'll give Brookings at first the head start. 3-2, he'll be off with the pitch. Basello comes set, the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Gataya thought it was outside, but he is down on strikes. But the Cannons score a run on 2 hits. There were no errors. They'll leave a runner on. Your score after 5.5. Purcellville 3, Winchester 3. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. Welcome back to Bridgeport Field, Winchester, Virginia. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Royals Cannons 3-3. Ryan Gargett back to the mound for Purcellville. He'll face 5, 6, 7. Emmendorfer, Agar, and Fredo to hit for the Royals here in the sixth. First pitch to Emmendorfer off the plate for ball 1-0. Emmendorfer 0 for 2. He's grounded out and reached on an error. Trying to jumpstart the Royals here in the sixth. The 1-0. That's lined into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. So Emmendorfer leads out the Royals sixth with their sixth hit of the game. Solid single to center. And let's see how the Royals play it with the lead run on. Agar, the hitter. He's 0 for 1. He's flown to center. He's also walked. I don't know how much Joey Agar has been asked to bunt at Mount St. Mary's. We'll see if the Royals ask him to do so here. First pitch, he is squaring a bunt, takes a fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. Agar, no sacrifices for the Royals so far this summer. The 0-1, they take it off, and it's going to skip past the catcher, and good base running by Emmendorfer. It didn't get far from him, but he'll take second. On the ball in the dirt, it'll go as a wild pitch charged to Gargett, and the Royals have the lead run in scoring position now. And Agar won't have to worry about dropping down a bunt now. A base hit gives the Royals the lead. Cannon's not convinced he's not bunting. So they're still in on the corners. The 1-1. Slider in there for a strike, 1-2. Now they'll back up. Well, Marsala at first is still in on the grass. He's still thinking bunt here. The 1-2 to Agar. Fouled into the screen. We'll do it again, 1-2. Now we'll see if the Cannons decide that he's not bunting and move back. Marcelo's still going to be even with the bag. Middle infielders shaded up the middle to try to hold the runner at second. Sanchez about halfway at third. The 1-2, that'll miss outside. 2-2. The Cannons fans thought it was strike three, but even for as wide as the zone's been tonight, that was a bit outside. Gargett has his sign. He'll check the runner at second. The 2-2. Lifted toward left field. Could be playable for putts, and he will make the play. Agar lined it, but lined it right to the left fielder. First out of the inning. And that'll bring up Ty Fredo. Fredo 0 for 2. He's flown to left, flown to center. Fredo and Kaiser trying to drive in the lead run for the Royals here in the sixth. Lifted toward right field. Probably deep enough to move the runner up. Good strong throw from Fernandez in right field, but Emmendorfer will tag and move up, and had Agar been able to move him around, that scores a run right there. Fredo's now flown out to all three outfielders, and it'll be up to Ian Kaiser. Kaiser 0 for 2. He's flown to right, flown to left. He'll hit with the runner at third and 2 outs. Royals trying to grab the lead right back after the Cannons tied at the top of the sixth. First pitch to Kaiser. That's high and away, 1-0. Gargett comes set, checks the runner at third, the 1-0 to Kaiser. That'll miss outside and go all the way to the backstop, and that's going to score the run. We'll see how they score it. That could very well go as a pass ball as it kicked right off of Gatia's glove. Either way, it's going to be the lead run for the Royals. It'll be scored a wild pitch to get the runner in from third. And now Kaiser will hit with 2 outs and nobody on, and the Royals up a run. Swung on and missed. The 2-1 swung on. The 2-1 fouled off the plate as he tried to bunt his way on. The 2-2 to Kaiser. Misses outside 3-2. If Kaiser gets on the very least, the Royals will be able to turn the order over. Poland will hit with 2 outs. Royals have scratched across the run here to get back in front 3-2 or 4-3. Ball 4, and that's downstairs. It didn't look like it was down by that much, but Gargett didn't seem to mind that it was down. I think he was upset with where his location was, and that'll bring up Bodie Poland. Poland infield single scored in the 5th to give the Royals a 3-2 lead at the time. He hits now. He's 1 for 2. He's grounded at third and singled and scored. Kaiser at first. His second base running. He did pinch run last night. Other than that, has not done a lot of running for the Royals so far this season. First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Gargett comes set. The 1-0 to Poland. I'd like to see Bodie get into one. He checks swings. It'll bounce right to the first baseman who will run over and tag the bag. So Poland tried to hold up, wasn't able to. He'll ground out 3 unassisted to end the inning, but the Royals will score a run on a hit. The benefit of a couple of wild pitches, no errors. They will leave 1 on base. Your score after 6 complete. Royals win the back third of the game. They'll snap the 2-game losing streak. It's 4-3. We go to the 7th. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. Welcome back to Bridgeforth Field, Winchester, Virginia. We go to the seventh. Royals have inched back in front, 4-3 after 6. 8-9-1 to hit for the Cannons here in the seventh. Valentin putts and Acevedo. Valentin is 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and flown out. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Royals. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Cannons. Purcellville back to the mound for the Royals. Swung on and missed at a good slider off the plate. Valentin down in the count now, 0-2. The 0-2 will miss inside, 1-2. Well, the umpire says it's 2-2, so 2-2 is your count. Home plate umpire said 2-2. I'm just saying what he said. That pitch will miss downstairs and roll halfway up the first baseline as Agar couldn't hold on to it, so that'll run the count full, 3-2. Somewhere we missed a pitch, and everybody missed it because nobody knew it was 2-2, but now it's 3-2, and Valentin trying to be a leadoff base runner for the Cannons here in the seventh. He'll ground it to short. Fredo on. Up with it. Long throw to first. Off balance and in time. Nice play, Ty Fredo, to retire Valentin to start the seventh inning for Purcellville. Kind of fielded and threw all in one motion to get the speedy Valentin out at first. And that'll bring up Rohan Putz, the left fielder from Kansas State. Putz is 1 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the third. He's also singled and was stranded at third in the fifth. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Sala will come set, the 0-1. Fisted toward the second baseman. No, nice grab going back. Todd Abraham is what I'm trying to say. Looked like off the bat it was going to get over his head into right field, but Abraham able to backpedal and make the catch over his head for the out. And a big second out for the Royals here in the seventh. Back to the top of the order for Ethan Acevedo, who is 1 for 2. He has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and singled. Been on base 2 out of 3 times. That's what you want out of your leadoff man. Cannons hope he gets on, and he's going to bunt one down the third baseline. Emmendorfer's going to have to make an incredible play. It's not going to happen. Acevedo drops a bunt down the third baseline for a base hit. I'm not sure Brooks Robinson throws him out on that play. Nice bunt by Acevedo. 6th hit of the game for the Cannons, and you got to believe that they'd like to get Acevedo in motion and get him in a scoring position with 2 outs. Acevedo 5 for 5 in stolen bases on the season. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. To Fernandez, who is 0 for 3, struck out twice and popped the third. The 0-1. Line toward left. Coming on is Padilla, and he'll make the catch. Jamie Padilla makes the catch in left field on a hard hit ball off the bat of Anthony Fernandez to retire the side. A couple of good defensive plays for the Royals in the seventh. For Purcellville, no runs a hit, no errors. They leave a runner. They have now left 5 on through 7 innings. And your score after 6.5, Winchester 4, Purcellville 3. You're listening to the Winchester Royals Valley Baseball League action. We go to the bottom of the 7th here at Bridgeforth Field, Purcellville and Winchester. The Royals lead it 4-3. The Cannons will make a pitching change. Their third pitcher of the night on to pitch, left-hander from North Carolina Greensboro, Hazon Lancaster. Lancaster making his 6th appearance. They're all in relief. He's worked 6 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, no runs. He's walked 1, struck out 2. No record, earned run average 0.00 for the new Purcellville pitcher. Not sure that we ever gave you the totals on the Purcellville starter, so we owe you a couple. Burkhart goes 4 2/3, gives up 5 hits, 3 runs. They're all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and he no longer will figure in the decision. Leading off for the Royals, Jamie Padilla made the nice catch in left field to end the top of the 7th. He is 1 for 2. He's walked and driven in a run, base hit in the 5th. First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. 1-2-3 for the Royals here in the 7th. Padilla, Guy, Abraham. The 1-0 off the plate for ball, 2-0. The count on Jamie Padilla. That's downstairs for a ball, 3-0. And the Royals would like to see Padilla on base with nobody out. Good speed with the middle of the order coming up. See if they can't figure out a way to get a couple of insurance runs here. And that'll miss downstairs. A 4-pitch walk to Jamie Padilla to lead off the 7th. So Lancaster comes on and walks Padilla on 4. Padilla 8 for 10 stolen bases on the season. His 8 stolen bases second only to Connor Guy, who steps in now. Guy, the left-handed hitting outfielder. Let's see if the Royals have Guy bunt him over, or if maybe they put Padilla in motion here. First pitch to Guy, he's swinging away, takes it downstairs, 1-0, and Lancaster has missed with 5 straight since coming on. There is a right-hander up playing catch in the Purcellville bullpen, but just playing catch. The 1-0, that's going to miss high and tight. 2-0 is the bad release point on his breaking ball. Stayed upstairs. So he's missed with the first 6 since coming on. You got to believe Guy's probably taking a pitch here. The 2-0. Downstairs for a ball, 3-0. That's going to get away from the catcher, and Padilla is going to move up. So the pitch was downstairs for a ball. Gotilla didn't catch it correctly, and we'll see how they score that one. So Padilla will move up to second on the pass ball. The 3-0's in there for a strike. So first strike that Lancaster has thrown. Maybe Guy can drive one in here. Taps it foul toward the Purcellville dugout. Count runs full, 3-2. Guy on the game is 1 for 2. He's walked, grounded out, driven in a run with an RBI single. The 3-2, that's going to miss inside and almost hit him. And Hazon Lancaster, since coming on, has walked the first 2 guys he's faced to get to the middle of the Royals order. Todd Abraham singled in the first, scored on the 2-run home run, has since struck out twice. You know, he'd like to make amends for that. See if he can't run one up the alley and get the horses in motion on the bases. He squares the bunt, takes a strike, 0-1. So the Royals interested in getting a couple runners in a scoring position for Parker Fry here. The 0-1 to Abraham. He'll take it outside, 1-1. Looks like they have a right-hander up now on the mound, getting loose in the Purcellville bullpen. The 1-1 to Abraham. He bunts it, but bunts it foul. It'll be 1-2, and you got to believe that regardless of what happens with Abraham here, the Cannons would like to leave Lancaster in to face the left-handed hitting Parker Fry. Abraham will now face a 1-2 pitch after failing to get the bunt down. Lancaster comes set, the 1-2. Off the plate for ball, 2-2. Pitch down and away, so Abraham is drawn even in the count. He tries to push across an insurance run for the Royals here in the bottom of the seventh, the 2-2. That's downstairs. Count runs full, 3-2. So after getting ahead 0-2, I'm sorry, 1-2, he's now run it full, 3-2. What a golden opportunity for the Royals to put the runners in motion here. The 3-2. Off the plate, ball 4. He's walked him loaded. So he got Abraham 1-2 and then lost him. And that's going to bring a visit from the dugout. Even though you got a lefty on lefty matchup here, he's walked the first 3 guys he's faced. So he may not get a chance to see Parker Fry. And they have already made the decision. So the left-hander's coming out. So Lancaster will not record an out. He walks the only 3 guys he faces. He will be lifted for a right-hander, even though Parker Fry is the hitter. Bryce Turner, the right-hander from Florida International, will take over. And the Royals trying to give Hayes and Lancaster an ERA here, as all 3 guys on base are his responsibility. Before we get too far along, let's give you Bryce Turner's numbers on the season for the Cannons. Bryce Turner, where are you, brother? There he is, Bryce Turner making his 4th appearance for the Cannons. All in relief. He's worked 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He's walked 3, struck out 4. No record, earned run average of 3.00. For Lancaster, in 6 innings, he had walked 1. He just walked 3 without recording it out here tonight. So Bryce Turner comes on in a mess for the Cannons, trying to keep them within distance here. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Royals cleanup hitter up, Parker Fry, who homered in the second. Parker 1 for 3 is also grounded to first and flown to center. So Lancaster so far has given up no runs, but all 3 guys on base are his responsibility. And Parker Fry going to stand in and try to make him pay for those 3 walks. The Cannons down a run in the 7th inning, going to pull their infield in, so they're not content with getting a double play up the middle. They're going to bring everybody in and try to cut the runner off at the plate. First pitch to Fry, misses down and in, and Bryce Turner has a herky-jerky side-winding motion, which probably a whole lot easier to see from the left side than it is from the right side. Fry ahead in the count, 1-0, trying to give the Royals some insurance here in the 7th. The 1-0. That'll miss outside, 2-0. So Fry once again in the driver's seat, chance to look for a pitch here. Fastball on his belt buckle, something he can ride. There is a huge hole in the right center field gap. The 2-0, way outside, 3-0. They've got Acevedo swung around toward left, and they got Fernandez playing his normal spot, which just leaves a huge hole in the right center field alley. If Parker Fry can run one up there, the Royals are going to score 3. The 3-0 pitch to Parker Fry. Fastball right down the middle, 3-1. Fry taking all the way. See if he gets that same pitch again. He'd like to get a hold of one. 3 balls a strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, Royals lead it by a run. The 3-1. Popped it up, but it's going to be out of play. Sanchez will give it a look, but it'll fall back into the parking lot somewhere, and Turner has battled back to run the count full now on Fry. Padilla at third, Guy at first, Guy at second, Abraham at first. They all 3 walked to start off this inning. The 3-2. Just missed. Ball 4. Fry will get his 3rd RBI of the game. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of Cannons out there that'd like to know where that pitch missed. But it'll go as the 4th walk of the inning. Padilla scores. Guy moves to 3rd. Abraham moves to second. And Fry now at first for John Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer 1 for 3. Singled and scored last inning. He's also reached on an error. Base hit here will drive in some runs. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Six hits apiece, but the Royals lead at 5-3. Emmendorfer grounds this one down the third base line. It's a foul ball, just missed. With the Cannons playing in, no chance for Sanchez to get to that ball right down the line, but it just hooked foul. If that's a fair ball, the Royals are going to run for days because that was going to get down in the corner. They're going to score 2 easily, and Fry would have had an opportunity. Being in the left field corner, they might have held him at second, or at third rather, but 0-2 the count on Emmendorfer now. He lines into center field. It's going to be a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Rounding third and coming home. Throw to the plate is going to be up the first base line. It's going to be a 2-run single. 0-2 for John Emmendorfer. Turner got it right where he didn't want to get it, 0-2, and Emmendorfer made him pay. He lined it to center field. Guy scores. Abraham scores. Fry stops at second and give Emmendorfer a 2-run single, his second hit of the game, his first 2 RBIs of the game. And the Royals have scored 3 times here in the 7th. Bunted down the third base line. It's going to be it's going to stay on the line and be a fair ball. Joey Agar dropped a bunt down the third base line. Sanchez, knowing he had no chance to throw him out, let it roll, and it rolled right down the line and stayed fair. And the Royals will have him loaded again. Second hit of the inning. Still nobody out. Royals lead it 7-3. Yeah, just 3 runs in the inning. Nobody scored on that play. Fredo, the hitter, he's 0 for 3. He's flown to each of the outfielders. First pitch, fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. So Padilla, Guy, Abraham all walked. They've all scored. Fry walked. He is at third. Emmendorfer at second. Agar at first. Cannons have to pull the infield in on the grass again. They now trail at 7-3. And Ty Fredo trying to put a big crooked number on the board for the Royals. 1-1 the count to Fredo. 0 for 3 tonight. Fouled out of play. 1-2. And any one of the foul ball or any one of the fly balls that he's hit earlier in the game will drive in a run. Royals would certainly take another fly ball off the bat of Ty Fredo. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Royals have scored 3 times here in the inning. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Fredo called out on strikes. He can't believe it. He thought it was outside. And when you're struggling, those calls never go your way. That'll bring up Ian Kaiser. Kaiser's 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. Chance for him to pick up his first RBI as a Winchester Royal. First pitch to Kaiser. Left-handed hitter takes a pitch off the plate for a ball. 1-0. Turner comes set, the 1-0. Swung on and missed. He had a good hack. Count evens up 1-1. You can close the book on Lancaster now. He goes no innings, allows 3 runs. They're all earned. He walked 3. Walked the only 3 hitters he faced. Turner's 1-1 now. Popped it up, but it'll be out of play. Back behind the press box. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 to Kaiser, and that'll miss way outside, and a nice job by Cotia to keep that from going to the backstop. 2-2 the count on Ian Kaiser. Trying to get the Royals some more insurance here in the 7th. The 2-2. Fouled out of play. We'll do it again. 2-2. Bodie Pullen waits on deck. There's only one out here in the Royals' 7th as they try to add on. Royals scored a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th. They've scored 3 times here in the 7th. The 2-2. Lifted down the third or first base side, and that'll be well foul. It'll drift into the night out into Jim Barnett Park, headed up Cincinnati Road somewhere. 2-2 the count on Ian Kaiser. Turner comes set, the 2-2. Off the plate, ball 3, 3-2. The Cannons have already walked 4 in the inning. Turner walked the first man he faced, Parker Fry, to drive in a run. Turner comes set, the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He threw a fastball by him, and Turner has struck out the last 2 he has faced. Trying to keep the Cannons within shouting distance here. Royals have batted around, pulling the 9th hitter of the inning. Trying to keep it going. Pullen is 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 5th. He's also grounded out twice. Chance to pick up some RBIs. Swung on and missed. Good hard breaking ball. Pullen swung through it, 0-1. No balls, a strike, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Royals up 7-3. We play in the bottom half of the 7th. Turner trying to keep it right here. Pullen trying to add on the 0-1. That'll miss down and away. Count evens 1-1. Turner comes set, the 1-1. Fouled out of play, 1-2. Fry at third, Emmendorfer at second, Agar at first will be off on the swing. As the Royals trying to add to a 4-run lead. The bases loaded and 2 outs. Bodie Pullen at the plate. Turner comes set, the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Turner struck out the last 3, but the Royals, a big inning here in the 7th. They score 3 times on just 1 hit. There were 4 walks, no Purcellville errors, and the Royals will leave them loaded. Your score after 7 complete is now Winchester 7, Purcellville 3. You're listening to the Winchester Royals in Valley Baseball League action. We go to the ninth. Royals lead at 7-3. Cannons will send 3-4-5 to the plate here in the eighth. Sanchez and Kona, who came on to run for call, and Marcella. First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0, and that one downstairs, 2-0. So Marcella behind in the count, 2-0. 4-run cushion here. Fastball in there for a strike, 2-1. Sanchez on the game is 0 for 3. He struck out and grounded out twice. Vasello's 2-1. Fouled into the screen. Count evens up 2-2. Royals on the road tomorrow night. They travel down to Newmarket to take on the last place Rebels. This Purcellville team returns home to take on Front Royal. Royals game tomorrow night, 7:30. Purcellville will play at 7 o'clock at Fireman's Field. Vasello's 2-2 to Sanchez. Tap down the third base side. Big hop. Fredo's going to try to play it with a bare hand, and he'll throw it away. Fry will be able to track it down and hold the runner at first. Looked like Emmendorfer was going to try to play the short hop, and then he let it go to Fredo, and Fredo was deep in the hole. He barehanded it, but had no chance to throw out the runner. So Sanchez will pick up his first hit of the game, an infield single. And he'll be at first now for Mitsuki Kono, left-handed hitting second baseman. Came on for call. Kono tries to bunt. He bunts it foul. Kono, a .222 hitter, his 12th game, 8 for 36. 1 home run, 2 RBIs as he tries to bunt the runner up. It bunts it foul. Final from out of town. Woodstock beats Front Royal 6-1. So the Cardinals fall a little bit further behind the River Bandits in the standings as Woodstock solidifies their first place standing. This one fouled out of play, 0-2. Strasburg will remain tied with Woodstock as they are burying Newmarket 14-0. That game in the bottom of the sixth. Nothing and 2 the count on Kono now. Runner off of the pitch. The throw down to second is going to be not in time. He went in standing. How many times you see a guy steal second base standing and able to stay on the bag? Fredo kept trying to put the tag on him, and Sanchez was able to stay on. I can hear my old high school baseball coach yelling at me to get dirty. Your mom's going to wash the uniform anyway, and you don't even get dirty here. So the pitch off the plate, it's 1-2 to Kono. Runner in scoring position now with nobody out in the Purcellville half of the eighth. Royals lead at 7-3. They've out hit the Cannons 8-7. That'll hit him. He came inside with the fastball, got him right in the thigh. And the Royals struggling with the lead here again tonight. An infield base hit and a hit batter. That'll bring up Thomas Marsalo, who is 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. The Royals would really like to see him hit another ground ball. They're checking on Kono to make sure he's okay. Cannons have already lost 1 second baseman tonight to an injury, but Kono appears to be okay as he heads toward first. It's one of those that stings right now, but it's going to swell up and hurt like a Dickens tomorrow. Harrisonburg leads Covington 10-9. They're in the top of the ninth. Charlottesville 5, Waynesboro 4, bottom of the eighth. Culpeper continues to lead Stanton 5-2. They are in the top of the sixth. And again, Strasburg is just putting a hurting on the Rebels. 14-0. That game in the bottom of the sixth. In all likelihood, that'll be stopped after the next inning, unless Newmarket can score 5 runs in the 6th and 7th innings. So Marcelo stands in. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Purcellville would love to get a ground ball at one of his infielders here, the 0-1. Off the plate for a ball. Count evens 1-1. Sal appears in for his sign. He'll come set, checks the runners. The 1-1. Lifted toward left field. Padilla going back. He is going to make the catch. Marcelo hit it on a line, but Padilla able to track it down for the first out here in the 8th inning. That'll bring up Blake Brookings. Brookings singled and drove in a run his last time up. He drove in the run that tied the game for the Cannons in the 6th. Royals have since scored 4 unanswered to regain the lead. Brookings 1 for 3 with an RBI. Now the Royals would really love to get that ground ball. That pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Sal appears in. He has his sign. Sets, checks the runners. The 1-0. Tap foul toward the Purcellville dugout. 1-1 the count. Brookings might have helped him out a little bit. Looks like he chased a pitch high and out of the zone to even up the count. One and one out. Purcell trying to get out of a first and second jam and preserve the 4-run lead here in the 8th. The 1-1. That'll catch the outside corner, 1-2, and Brookings, though it's been there all night, not really thrilled with the call. I'm not sure that's a great call, but it's been consistent. You really can't ask for much more than that. The 1-2 to Brookings. Swung on and missed. He chased one up the ladder, and he's down on strikes. So after an infield single and a hit batter, Purcell has come back to retire Marcella and Brookings. That'll bring up A.J. Gotilla. A.J. picked up the first hit of the game for the Cannons. A double in the 3rd. He came around to score. He's since struck out twice. 1 for 3 with a run scored. First pitch to Gotilla. High and tight. 1-0 the count. Gotilla can't extend the inning here. The Cannons will have 8-9-1 due up in the 9th. And with a couple of injuries already in this game, I'm not sure what their pinch hitting staff looks like. The 1-0. That'll miss outside 2-0, but work to do before that's even an issue. Sale has fallen behind in the count now, 2-0. Dominique comes set, checks the runners, the 2-0. That'll miss outside, 3-0. So a pitch away from walking them loaded. Purcell sets, checks the runners. The 3-0, nowhere near, ball 4, and he's loaded him up for the number 8 hitter here for the Cannons. Tying run will come to the plate in the form of Kareen Valentin, and before that happens, we may have a new pitcher for the Royals. Valentin will step in. The Royals are going to stick with Vasello here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Valentin is 0 for 3. He has reached on a fielder's choice, flown out, and grounded out. He hits representing the tying run here in the 8th with the bases loaded. First pitch, popped it up. Abraham going back on it. Guy coming in. Abraham will call him off and make the catch. So after the visit from the dugout, took one pitch for Vasello to get out of the inning. For the Cannons in the 8th, no runs a hit. There were no Winchester errors. The Cannons will leave them loaded. Your score after 7.5, Winchester 7, Purcellville 3. You're listening to the Winchester Royals and Valley Baseball League action. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Royals lead the Cannons 7-3. New pitcher on for the Purcellville Cannons, Merrick Beamish from Dyersburg State Community College. Just finished up his freshman year on the season. Mr. Beamish, his 4th appearance for Purcellville. He's worked 1 2/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs. They're both earned. Walked 3, struck out 2. 1-0 with a 10.80 earned run average. He'll face the top of the order. The Royals batted around in the 8th. So 1, 2, 3. Padilla, Guy, Abraham to hit here in the, they batted around the 7th. Will hit here in the 8th. All 3 of them walked. All 3 of them came in to score in the 7th inning. First pitch to Padilla. Slider will stay upstairs, 1-0. Bryce Turner goes an inning for the Cannons. Gave up 2 hits. Did not allow a run. That pitch is downstairs, 2-0. He walked 1, struck out 3. And will not figure in the decision here this evening. That pitch off the plate, 3-0, and Padilla trying to get a rally going for the Royals here in the 8th, see if they can pad the lead a little bit. The 3-0, nowhere near. And Padilla, for the 2nd consecutive at-bat, will draw a leadoff walk. And I think, was that a 4-pitch walk too? Both were 4 pitches. I thought I might have missed a strike there somewhere. Connor Guy stands in. He walked and scored last inning. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. He's walked twice and scored a run. Top 6 hitters in the Royals lineup all have at least one hit. Bodie Pullen has the other one in the 9-hole. That pitch off the plate for a ball. And just like Lancaster to start the 7th, Beamish having issues finding the strike zone here in the 8th. He's missed the first 5 he has thrown. That fastball's in there for a strike, 1-1. Parker Fry, the big 2-run home run in the first. He has 3 RBIs on the game. Emmendorfer has a couple hits, couple RBIs to lead the Royals offensively. The 1-1. Drilled toward left center field, going back onto the Acevedo. Nobody's going to get to that one. It's going to one-hop the fence and bounce over, and the Royals are going to lose out on that deal because Padilla was going to score easily. Connor Guy got into one and hammered it to the alley in left center field, and it hit the turf and took one hop over the fence. And that's going to cost Guy an RBI. And for the time being, Padilla a run. That ball was juiced a little bit. And that'll bring up Todd Abraham. And you know Abraham, with a couple of strikeouts, would like to drive in a couple runs here. He is 1 for 3. He's scored twice. He's singled and walked. Hasn't driven in a run yet, and would certainly like to do that right now. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. And with the games that both these teams have lined up, you'd think they'd like to finish with the pitchers they got out there, not burn any more pitching tonight. The 0-1. Tap down the third base line. Padilla's coming home. The throw is going to be to first. It's going to be a wild throw, and it's going to be off the bag. And Abraham's going to get an RBI infield single. Sanchez looked at the plate, thought he didn't have a play, so he made an off-balance throw to first, but it was low, and Marcella couldn't come up with the scoop. So Abraham will be credited with an infield single. Give him an RBI. Padilla scores. And Guy will move to third. The Royals have runners on first and third for Parker Fry, who's driven in 3 tonight. Ground ball to third. Carlos Sanchez throws it away. Second time in a row that he has had a chance to make a play. This time, ground ball right to Sanchez. He throws to second, but throws it to center field, and everybody's going to be safe. So give Fry his 4th RBI of the game as Abraham will score, but it'll go as a one base error. Abraham will move to third. Fry will be on at first on the error, second error of the game, charged to the Cannons. And I guess technically the error was at second base, so Fry is on by a fielder's choice. First pitch off in there for a strike, 0-1 to John Emmendorfer. 2 hits, 2 RBIs on the game. The 0-1 in there for a strike, 0-2. Emmendorfer will line this one into left center field. A nice running effort by Putz. Putz will make the catch. A great diving, sliding catch by Rowan Putz in left field will rob Emmendorfer of a hit, but Abraham will save him the at-bat. He'll come in and score on the sacrifice fly, and the Royals have matched their 3-run 7th inning with a 3-run 8th inning. Fry will still be at first. Give Emmendorfer his 3rd RBI of the game, and 4-5, Fry and Emmendorfer have driven in 7 combined tonight. That'll bring up Joey Agar, who singled his last time up, a bunt single down the third base line. He'll take one downstairs for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 is in there for a strike, 1-1. So the Royals benefit from a walk, a ground rule double, a hit, an error, and a sacrifice fly. And that's fouled out of play. 1-2 the count on Agar as he tries to extend the inning. Just one out. Runner at first. Parker Fry reached on the fielder's choice, which drove in a run. That's off the plate for a ball. 2-2. Slider on the outside corner. Agar is going to strike out looking for the second out of the inning. Going to bring up Ty Fredo. You know, Ty would love to get himself a base hit here as his average is dropped. Fastball off the plate for ball 1-0. Ball and no strikes. The Royals have extended the lead, now lead at 10-3. Beamish comes set, his 1-0. That'll miss upstairs, 2-0. Again, their final in Woodstock. The River Bandits knock off the Cardinals 6-1. They've gone to the bottom of the ninth in Covington. Harrisonburg leads the Lumberjacks 10-9. The 2-0 swung on and missed. He chased a pitch down and away. Probably swung at ball 3 there, but boy, when you're trying to get a hit, you'll do anything to get yourself a base knock. 2-1 the count on Ty Fredo. That'll miss down and away. 3-1. Fry, not good speed at first, not a big stolen base threat, but up by 7 in the 8th. You don't expect him to be going anywhere anyway. The 3-1. Downstairs, ball 4. Fredo will draw the walk, so he'll end the 0 for 4 with a walk. And he'll bring up Ian Kaiser. Kaiser's still looking for his first base hit as a Royal. He's flown out a couple times, walked and struck out. Outside of Fredo and Kaiser, everybody else in the Royals lineup has at least one hit. And all but 3 have scored at least 1 run. First pitch in there for a strike to Kaiser. Abraham has scored 3 times. The 0-1 to Kaiser. That'll miss down and in. Count evens up 1-1. Kaiser then Poland. If Kaiser reaches, the Royals will have batted around for the second consecutive inning. The 1-1. That'll miss outside. And that's going to go all the way to the backstop. So the Royals are going to move up, and now a base hit for Kaiser will give him a couple of RBIs. Fouled off to the backstop. Count evens up 2-2. Fry's at third. Fredo is at second. Royals lead at 10-3 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-2 lifted toward left field. Putt's coming on. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to drop right on the line. Oh, they called it foul. Called it a foul ball, and the Royals third base coach is going to lose his mind. I do not have the best seat in the house, I'll be the first to tell you, but that looked real close to being right on the line from here. And the umpires are going to get together. And if the home plate umpire didn't see it, I don't know how the other base umpires are going to see it, because the one guy was in the middle of the field. And the other guy's over at first base. He's got no chance. I got a better look than he does. Royals are going to, or the umpires rather, are going to get together and make a decision on this. And they're going to stick with foul ball. And again, I don't know how any of the umpires are going to overturn that, because the one umpire's at first base. He's got no chance of seeing it. The other umpire's in the middle of the infield. And he's explaining his point of view. He's pointing in the middle of the infield. He's like, I was over there. What do you want from me? So if the home plate umpire doesn't make that call, it's not going to be changed. So Kaiser robbed of a extra base hit and 2 RBIs. Now the home plate umpire is telling the other umpires where they need to be. So Kaiser 2-2 the count now as he makes a bid for his first RBI. That's fouled into the screen. Count holds at 2-2. He just missed a double and 2 RBIs. And there's a lot of people down there wearing green that aren't convinced he didn't do that. The 2-2. This one lifted toward left field, but should be easy for Putz, who'll take a couple steps toward the line and make the catch. So the Royals send 8 to the plate here in the 8th. They'll score 3 more. They'll score 3 more runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error on the Cannons, and the Royals will leave 2 on base. We go to the 9th. Last chance for the Cannons. It's Winchester 10, Purcellville 3. You listen to the Winchester Royals in Valley Baseball League action. We go to the 9th. Royals lead at 10-3. New pitcher on for the Royals from Lynchburg University. Michael Rowlands will come in and try to close it down. Rowlands on the season. First pitch to Putz in there for a strike, 0-1. Putz 1 for 3s, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run. He's also singled and driven in a run. The 0-1 from Rowlands. Slider on the outside corner, 0-2. Rowlands making his 7th appearance, all in relief, 6 2/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 6 runs. They're all earned. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. 0-1. He does have a save, not a save situation here. 8.1, the earned run average for Michael Rowlands. That pitch will miss outside. 1-2. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Putts down on strikes. There's one out here in the Purcellville ninth. Royals 10 runs on 10 hits. They have not committed an error. The Cannons 3 runs on 7 hits. They have 2 errors. Ethan Acevedo will step in. He is 2 for 3. Struck out, was hit by a pitch, 2 singles. Been stranded on base 3 times tonight. The left-handed hitting outfielder. First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Rollins comes set, the 1-0. That'll catch the corner. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. The Royals trying to snap a 2-game losing streak, both games to the Woodstock River Bandits right here on Wednesday and Thursday. The 1-1. That'll stay upstairs, 2-1. Acevedo, then Anthony Fernandez. If anybody should reach, Carlos Sanchez for the Cannons here in the ninth. The 2-1 to Acevedo. That'll get the outside corner 2-2, and Ethan not thrilled with that call. Rollins has his sign. He'll come set, the 2-2. Strike 3 called, and he didn't like that call either. Rollins has struck out the first 2 he's faced here in the ninth. That'll bring up Anthony Fernandez. Last chance for the Cannons. Fernandez 0 for 4. Struck out twice. He's popped to third and lined to left. Trying to extend the game for the Cannons. That one lifted toward left field. Padilla coming on. He's not going to be able to get there. It'll drop in front of him. It'll be a 2-out base hit for Anthony Fernandez, and the Cannons still alive here in the ninth. That'll bring up Sanchez. Sanchez has made both errors for the Cannons here tonight. Now the umpires again having a conversation with the Royals dugout. I don't know what that was all about. Sanchez 1 for 4 on the night. He singled, stole a base in the 8th, was stranded at 3rd. He tries to keep the Cannons' hopes alive here in the 9th. First pitch from Rollins. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. Rollins comes set, checks the runners. They're not going to hold him at first. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, 0-2. You got to believe that Fernandez will be taken off for second. Fry's playing behind him. They're not holding him. So they're basically telling him you can go out and touch the outfield fence for all they care. Crowd gets into it a little bit. The 0-2 from Michael Rollins. That'll miss outside 1-2, and the umpires had paid to get in. Thought it was strike 3, but they will not get the call. Rollins is 1-2. Just outside. The faithful down below thought that was strike 3, but didn't get the call. This crowd getting into it like they have been all season long as the Royals trying to close out a 10-3 victory over the Purcellville Cannons. Rollins sets the 2-2. Slider outside, and that was well outside. I'm about half blind. I saw that one. I knew that one was outside. I think this group of people down below us are just looking for something to explode over. Rollins will come set. This time they sit on their hands, the 3-2. That'll be ball 4 outside. So after getting ahead in the count, he'll walk Sanchez. And the Cannons stay alive with 2 outs here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Mitsuki Kono. Kono was hit by a pitch, his only at bat. He came on for Call, who was hurt beating out a base hit in the 6th. Kono hit by a pitch. He was stranded in the 8th. First pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Now the crowd kicking in again, trying to get Rollins to the finish line here. The set, the 1-0. That'll miss inside, and he almost got hit again. Kono's like, what'd I do? What'd I do? Hey, throwing those things in at me. 2-0 the count, and Emmendorfer's going to call timeout and come in and have a chat with his pitcher. See if he can't settle him down, get him back in the zone. 10 hits for the Royals, 10 runs for the Royals. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Cannons. Cannons scored 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 6th. Royals 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 5th and 6th, 3 in the 7th and 8th. Lead at 10-3, trying to close it out here to start another winning streak, potentially. The 2-0 to Kono. Lined into right field for a base hit, and the Cannons stay alive. They're going to send the runner home. The throw is going to be well up the line. A good throw to the plate. Might have got him, but Agar had to come up the third base line to make the play. Swung around to try to get the tag on him, but missed the tag. If that throw's on the plate, he might be out at the plate. So give Kono a hit and RBI. The Cannons creep a little closer as they try to rally here in the 9th with 2 outs. Thomas Marcella. That pitch upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Marcella 0 for 4. He's grounded out 3 times. He's also lined to left. Trying to extend the game for the Purcellville Cannons. The 1-0. Grounded foul down the first base side and toward the Purcellville bullpen. A couple of guys still hanging out in the bullpen, checking out the end of the ball game. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Kono just picked up the Cannons' 9th hit of the game, their 4th run. The 1-1. Grounded right back up the middle. Fredo's going to field it. He's going to run over and tag the bag, and that's going to do it. So Marcella will hit into a fielder's choice to end it for the Cannons here in the 9th. They get a run on 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. Your final score, Winchester 10, Purcellville 4. For the Royals, 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For the Cannons, 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The Royals improved to 8-8, get back to that 500 mark. The Cannons dropped to 5-8. The Royals now a game and a half ahead of the Cannons in the division standings. The Royals will gain a game on Front Royal, who got beat tonight. And, well, they will not gain a game on Strasburg because they pummeled the Newmarket Rebels. That final 14-0 Strasburg. The Royals travel down to Newmarket tomorrow to take on the Rebels. The last time the Royals were down there, Newmarket beat them. Winchester beat Newmarket opening night 14-4, but lost in Newmarket their first trip down there. Tonight's game, the winning pitcher, Dominic Facello, he improves to 1-0 on the season. He went 3 innings, allowed a run, 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He did hit a man. The run was earned. He is 1-0 on the season. There is no save. The loss goes to Ryan Gargett. He will drop to 0-1 as the Cannons again fall to 5-8 on the season. For the Royals, Parker Fry, big 2-run home run in the first inning to get him going. He ends the game with 4 RBIs. John Emmendorfer, a couple hits. He drives in 3. Todd Abraham, 2 hits, 1 RBI. He scored 3 times. Connor Guy, he got hot again. He got a couple hits, drove in 1. He scored twice for the Royals. Jamie Padilla with a hit, Joey Agar with a hit, and Parker Fry with his home run, and Bodie Pullen with the other hit for the Royals. For the Purcellville Cannons, Ethan Acevedo, 2 hits to lead them. Everybody else, 1 hit scattered throughout. RBIs by Kono, Brookins, and Putz hitting in the 9 hole. Again, the Royals win it by the final score of 10-4. We are off tomorrow night as Winchester travels to Newmarket to take on the Rebels. This Purcellville team, they return home to take on the Front Royal Cardinals at game time. They're 7 o'clock. Your friends, your people in Purcellville will have the call for you tomorrow night. The crew in Newmarket will take care of the Royals and Newmarket game, and I will be back your way on Sunday night when the Waynesboro Generals come to town to take on the Royals to finish out the season series between Winchester and Waynesboro. Again, final score from Bridgeport tonight. The Royals win it 10-4 over the Purcellville Cannons. Mark Sawyer is saying good night from the ballpark. Don't forget, before you go to bed tonight, call your parents, tell them you love them. We will talk to you Sunday night. Good night, everybody.